Hey guys, it's Schmitcoin here with another update for Bitcoin Magazine's Bitcoin analysis. We'll be starting on the monthly time frame, working down to the weekly, the daily, and ultimately concluding on the 4-hour candles. Looking quickly at the monthly, we see we're kind of still in this bit of no man's land in terms of price structure. So far, we've come down and wicked this level, and as we zoom in closer, this thick dashed line will become a little bit more relevant. Looking at the weekly level, that's where stuff starts to get a little bit more interesting. We do see this massive reversal doji here. And we do see that we broke through this weekly band of prices outlined by this swing low and this swing high. And we can see that that was the key point that we're going to be watching as we look into lower time frames. But so far, this monthly level is held as support. The weekly candle hasn't closed yet, but as we look at the daily and intraday time frames, that's where we're going to start to see a little bit more of the play with that monthly level. The daily time frame, what can we say about this? Well, we see that we violated our parabolic curve, and so far we haven't just completely dropped. I know that personally I was expecting to see a little bit stiffer of a retracement. That's not to say we won't get it, but I was expecting to see a bit more of a violent reaction, maybe a shove down to this weekly level here. So far, we've only retraced up to the 23% level, and the monthly level, which lines up perfectly with this 23% retracement, has provided support. So far, though, the weekly level outlined by this red band here has still acted as resistance, is continuing to act as resistance, and we're going to keep this in mind as we look at the bearish argument for this bullish breakout. So if we fail to claim this red level as support, I think that's going to be the last attempt to push a new high before we shove and break support. There is a possible level of support, which I have labeled as possible level of support, noted by this swing high here. I don't know how terribly relevant it is, but in the event that we get a rejection on this weekly band of prices, that could be a possible pit stop. But ultimately, the true level of support exists right in this $6,800 to $6,600 level. And when we look at the daily time frame, that's what I have noted here. I have this thick green band of prices as the immediate downside target if we reject this weekly level. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, we can see that this purple band of prices that I talked about in several of my videos failed to be support. You know, it came up, it tried once, came up, it tried twice, and now we're doing it for our third time. And we have yet to come back down to test it as support, but we can see quite clearly here that we're floating around in this weekly band of prices, and we have yet to close above it. The breakout of this little local range did occur on, fairly high volume, nothing spectacular, nothing like this, or nothing like this. But, relative to the trend, it's about double the moving average for the 4-hour time frame. And considering we consolidated in this little band of prices for a week and a half, essentially, I was expecting to see a bit higher volume on this breakout. So far, the price spread looks pretty good. We are finding a little bit of support here, but really what I want to see is a breakout of this level. A breakout of that would prove to be a complete reversal of this impulse. We saw here previously that the market came down, found support, and then on a retest is when it really got violent. So if we can come up here and reverse this level and find support, that's going to be a huge statement. But unfortunately, what I fear is that the market is not going to break that. And in the event that it doesn't break this level, I think we're coming down here, maybe getting a little bit of a pit stop. And if demand doesn't pick up here, then I'm fully expecting to see this downside target between 6,800 and 6,700. But so far, in terms of the low time frame market structure, it's not looking terrible. I would just like to see a bit more demand considering the length of time we consolidated, and considering how vigorous the bears have been throughout this whole range, considering how violent the chop has been. I would like to see a little bit more a little bit bigger of a statement from the bulls. But it could be one of those things where we snake up and snake down. I talked about that as a possibility. I think in last week's episode where we see the snaking price structure, and if we see that, that's also a strong sign of well established demand in the market. But right now, the first hurdle we need to overcome is this price band right here, and if we can overcome it, find support, well then that'd be great. Once again, if we fail to break above it, fail to find support, I really think we're coming down here first, and then if we don't find support there, this will be the next, the last bastion of hope for the immediate market structure. That's all I got for you guys. I'll update you guys either tomorrow or on Friday, and hopefully we'll have a little bit more information. The move is still fresh, so we kind of got to take what we can get right now. But so far, we're making new highs. We see the altcoin market across the board is looking fairly bullish. We're seeing a lot of coins breaking out. So this breakout on Bitcoin is looking like it's been quite a healthy move for the market as a whole.